kind of struggled with whether or not I should make this video. Although I was aircrew, I never went through the whole pipeline to become a pilot. That's what I'm trying to do in the Army, in the Guard. I'm waiting on an age waiver, and I've been selected out of the board. But yeah, my experience is I've racked up about 400 hours in the back of a bird over 2 deployments. I did a MEU prior to those deployments as just an ordy, and then I got my wings and cross-trained and did both those jobs. But I'm going to give my take on it. And just over the years of talking with friends of mine, I'm lucky to call them friends. They're former commanding officers and 05s and 06s that are still in, guys that are flight instructors at Navy flight school. So dudes that know their stuff, that are heavily involved in it, is who I reached out to kind of pick their brain and make this video along with my own experience. So that's my background. Maybe that's my own insecurity, worrying about, some freaking F-18 pilot coming in here going, well, let me tell you about Mike. Please do. Please comment and give your input on this, but I'm going to give my thoughts. My first thought is, and this is just, I think, about as real as I can be with this topic. You have to want to be a Marine first before you fly in the Marines. It's not that serious. I'm not trying to make it into more than what it is, but I went and talked to the Marine recruiter. I told him I'll just make me an infantryman, and they sent me to the Air Wing, which I'm grateful for. I'm obviously proud of it, and that's great. My point is, you're going to have way more extra billets, extra duties, things going on outside of flying than you would in other branches. It's not a shot at other branches, nothing but respect and love. I'm just saying the Marine Corps does more with less. Our culture is doing more with less. We do not receive the funding to be bussed out to our aircraft. Anyway, I'm not trying to get into all that, but it's just, that's kind of the different culture. So you have to want to be a Marine first. You want that esprit de corps. You want that culture, the uniform, the whole sharp haircut, rules and regulations, involved with the ground side. We support the ground side. That's what it is, man. We accomplish the mission or die. And that is, we're ready to deploy in the middle of the night. We're ready to get the call on the phone or on the pager or whatever, and pack our shit and go and be in theater in 12 hours. So that's that kind of Marine Corps mentality that I think something inside of you you have to feel that it has to resonate with you first before you go fly. So here's probably the information that you actually want, though, but I think that's important that I say that. The pipeline for going to fly is something like this: commission out of college or commission out of the academy, go to OCS somewhere in that time frame, go to TBS, which is the basic school. Now they told me, the academy guy told me, you can have an aviation seat before you get to TBS from the academy. I don't know about other commissioning sources, but if you don't, which you most likely won't, you'll be scratching and clawing for an aviation seat. I asked him, I said, how many people were in your class? How many people got aviation seats? He said about 40 out of 200. Some were people that wanted ground side, that got aviation. Some people on the ground side wanted aviation and went ground side. That'll be sort of your first taste of needs of the Marine Corps. It's a joke. You better get in on it and start laughing, dude, because if you don't laugh, you'll cry. But that's, again, it's the mission at all costs. You're going to be scratching and clawing at TBS to get top ranking in your class and hopefully select where you want to go. Let's say you get your aviation seat out of there. You go to INDOC, flight INDOC. I forget the acronym, but it's essentially 6 weeks of grueling academic aviation classroom work. You're talking about aerodynamics, thermodynamics, physics, reading weather, doing maps, land navigation, air navigation, whatever. People wash out of that. People decide that's not what I want to do with my life, whatever. It's at Pensacola. Um, then from there, you get through that, you start flying, and I believe it's a T6 aircraft. It's kind of irrelevant, but you start flying, and that whole time you're going to be jockeying for what you want to fly, meaning jets, helicopters, and props like C-130s and the like, and maybe V-20. I don't know where tilt rotor falls in that. So there might be 4 different sections. My point through all that is, depending on where you place in that class, you get to write down what your choices are in the order that you want them. I spoke to the guys. They said, hey, look, it's really kind of, again, the needs of the Marine Corps, that time of day, that flavor of the month. Like, one of them said, I wanted helicopters. I wanted to be in the mission for the Marine Corps, heavily involved. So he got helicopters. He was kind of at the top of his class, and he said he got really lucky because they were doing what was called a jet draft, is the way he put it, and they needed a lot of jet pilots at that time. Other times it's total opposite. So it just depends on what that situation is. But I would venture to say that jets are probably the most desired, and then it kind of just is up in the air at that point. But you'll find out that a lot of people want to do different things. Like right now, I want to fly 60s in the Army. A lot of people want to fly Chinooks. A lot of people want to fly 47s. I really don't have a desire to do that, if possible. And if they sign off on me, it seems I'll get the chance to do that. So anyway, you're just going to find out that people want to do different stuff. One of my good friends and leaders from my 3rd deployment, he's since passed from cancer. We got back from a flight. If you've ever been deployed, you know the drill. Like, you'll be over there, somebody will get a bottle of Listerine shipped in, and it's some spirits, generally speaking. So me and this guy, we go back to the room after our debrief, and we're just hanging out, having a heart to heart. And he told me in that moment, hey man, I've had a rough first couple of years in the Corps because my whole life was flying planes. My dad was a commercial airline pilot in the 80s and 90s, and I've been flying since I was 10 years old, little prop planes. And he was from Florida. They would island hop. It sounded like the best thing in the world. So can you imagine that in your childhood, and then you decide, I want to be a Marine, I want to fly F-18s. Well, he got stuck in 53s, and that's how he felt about it. I got stuck in 53s. Now, as he got through his enlistment and deployment, he goes, now this is awesome. Do I still wonder what it would have been like flying jets? Of course. But like, just know that just because you think you want something doesn't mean it can't be good. Oh my God, I ended up in jets, or I ended up in helicopters, or I ended up, like, the people you're going to meet, the places you're going to see, the places you'll go. Like, I would have to imagine that it kind of all works out like my friend said. So rest in peace, Chris Bedzis. Truly one of the finest human beings I've ever had the pleasure of being around. What an honor it was just to be around that guy. Kind, empathetic, incredible leader, and wildly proficient. When he would fly, you would get the same feeling that you got when the seasoned Lieutenant Colonel CO Hack was on the sticks. You got the same feeling when he was. And that cannot be said for all of the junior pilots in the fleet. So I have to mention that about Chris, because he was truly one of the best dudes I've ever known. So, I don't want to take anything away from the other guys that I spoke to recently, because they're my boys. I mean, I literally played Call of Duty with one of the guys. My point is, if you want to fly in the Marine Corps, just know that you should probably want to be a Marine first, and then go for it. I'll close with saying the odds are always going to say you're not going to make it. And anybody who ever tried to go do it had that same feeling and those same sort of doubts that I have right now. I'm like, they're not going to pick me. They're not going to, or they did pick me, but they're not going to sign off on my age waiver. So my point is, you're gonna have doubts, man. But to me, the disgrace and the regret will come from not trying, and you don't want to live with regrets. So you got to give it a shot. You have to believe in yourself, and you have to just blindly move forward and hope for the best. That's what I'm doing. I'm in the middle of it. I'm in the thick of it. We'll see what happens. It ain't that serious. Got my health, got my family. Living a pretty good life here. Thanks for everyone's interaction on the channel. If I said anything that is inaccurate, anything that you would tweak, please comment. Please. The only reason I post these is so they'll provide value to other people. We have a little community here of people that are just everybody's trying to do the same thing. Everybody's trying to go fly in the military, and we want to be helpful to one another, use each other as a sounding board, provide value, and share experience to one another. So thank you everybody for doing that. Please continue to do that in the comments. I see your comments. I will reply to them. Keep pushing. Keep going for it. Believe in yourself. Do not underestimate yourself. Sharp minds, smooth hands. Thank you.